Hear the echo.
Hey, my camera worked for a few minutes tonight. Got another hangout, but it's not working now. I was like, wow, look, it's working. And then it stopped working.
Oh, so we can't see you making faces at us, huh?
That's right.
It suddenly works as you are making faces at us.
I would love to show my facial expressions during this negotiation.
You guys have to be nice to Dallin. He had surgery yesterday on his mouth, so don't make him laugh too hard.
Yeah, it hurts.
Sorry. That's no fun.
Oh no, not my favorite.
No.
All right, well, let's get into this. I only have until 9 o'clock, so.
Okay. So we should probably get started quick then.
Yeah.
All right. So should we talk about the things that we can agree on first?
Sure.
Or actually, let's start off with the valuation.
Yeah. How'd you guys come up with the valuation?
How do we come up with the valuation? Well, let me tell you how we got that. I have a fun spreadsheet, huh?
It's a good spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Are we just yanking numbers out there or what?
Yeah,
No.
they say garbage in, garbage out. I mean,
Ooh, you guys are.
Wow.
love ya,
happened?
moi.
Where's the love?
I know. Seriously.
No, we love
You guys aren't close to the other offer we got.
Yeah, well, okay, so remember this is a negotiation, and you may have other options. So just hold your horses and listen to what we have to say.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Present your offer, please.
Thank you. So our first, we figure that there is so much risk involved. Yes, up until this point, you have proven that you are successful in the West Coast. However, expanding into the East Coast is an unknown territory. And so we feel that as of right now, if we start out, we want to kind of do a stage of investment where our first investment would be $1.5 million. And we require 25% equity, which gives us a post-money valuation of $6 million. And that we will give you another $1.5 million if you're successful moving out east.
Is this the talking points you guys got? More like talking points. How'd you come up with the valuation?
The valuation, Rex, the post-money valuation is our investment divided by our equity required, which gives us the $6 million.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's how you came up with it.
Yep.
So
So that gives you a pre-money valuation of $4.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do about 8.3 million this year, and you're saying we're worth 4.5.
Well, that is if you are successful moving out west, but we have to accommodate for our risk here. We can't.
This is what we're projected to do at the end of this year. That's without moving out west.
No, I don't think so.
2012 fall, 8.345 million.
Well, that's also a lot higher than
Total
the average
revenue.
in the industry.
Huh? That's what?
That's higher than the average industry of growing that much.
What can
It
I
may
say?
be, but that's what
We
we're on
did a
track
lot
to
of
do.
good products in 2011 to get our stuff in the stores, and now we're selling out of all the stores in LA.
Yes.
Superstars taking our product on airplanes, private airplanes, to New York. We are a hot commodity.
Okay, so counter back to us.
Well, we figure the valuation should be 16.9 million.
You're nuts. How did you get that?
Yeah. How did you get that?
Using the basic revenue formula, 2 times the revenue value.
The revenue value that you haven't even met yet?
That we're scheduled to meet this year.
It's not guaranteed though.
Well, we're into what, May?
So
We're
you're
gonna all of a sudden do like
gonna 2.5 times your
million?
revenue in 7 months.
well, no.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
We're gonna do what? How much?
2.5 times your revenue. You're saying that you're sitting at $3 million in May, and you're gonna
We're setting up 3 million in May.
that's what you just said.
No.
That's what you said.
I said this is the projections for the year.
Okay, so you guys figure your valuation is at 6 million or 16 million. I disagree with that. So where?
Let's take what do you think the valuation on Amazon would be?
We're not talking about Amazon. Amazon is
I'm just saying, what do you think? You know, they did $4 billion in 2002. They had no profit that year. You think they're worth not $4 billion in 2002?
Rex. They're a completely different company. If you want to compare apples and apples, I'll compare apples and apples with you, but I'm not going to compare Amazon with a startup beverage company.
Oh.
Amazon's like the big boys, you know, this is like right now a rinky-dink operation.
Yeah. That happens to be doing well. I will give you that they are doing very well, but it's not guaranteed that they're going to do well when they move out west or out east. East, west, east.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. National distributors who would work with the grocery store chains. Back to the East Coast. National coffee chain wants to talk to us. Vending sheet machine company that's across the United States and 300 vending machines. They want to talk to us. You think we're not going to do well out east? I beg to differ.
Okay, so why do you need our money? Then if you're so confident that you're going to do that well, why do you need my money? Go get money somewhere else.
We got offers.
Perfect. Let's talk about those.
Okay, we got one to give us $3 million and the other one to give us $2.5 million. No worries. Single round funding. Bango, bango, bongo. No split revenue. No, if you make it, because we are making it now.
Okay, so what are their other terms? Are they favorable or are they more?
We got 2 board members. Yep, I would say that's favorable. Taylor's going to be on the board. Maxwell's going to be on the board. Yeah, I would say that was much more favorable. Because that's a no deal for us. We're going to go with the one that's going to get Maxwell on the board for us. We've already decided that as a group.
Well, Maxwell and Taylor
both have to be on the board. And so that's the one we're looking at right now. It's the one that's going to give us.
How much equity are they asking for?
They're willing to give us $3 million.
For what? For what equity?
40%. And I don't think that's going to work.
Woo! So what does that put your post-money valuation at?
They're saying $4.5 million, but the other one's saying 7.
That's funny. Our post-money valuation is better than that.
7.
And we only want 25% equity.
It's true.
But they're giving twice the money. It's the same percentage.
I was going to say, and that's just on our first round of investing too. Like if you guys did well, then you would get the other 1.5 million.
Yeah. There has to be some like
$3 million up front, first round, single round, no 4 members on the board. We get our 2 founders who are both on the board. Yep. 12.5% in the option pool versus your 15. Gonna whomp you on that one too.
Okay, aren't you worried that there might be like down the road if there's a disagreement with the senior manager and the CEO, like if you have Taylor and Maxwell on the same board, aren't you worried that later on down the road there could be?
And they don't want us to change CEOs.
Well, that's a mistake because neither of them have like business. Like they don't know how to grow a business. They've never been involved in that. I mean, I don't think we need to do it immediately, but at some point we're gonna have to do.
I'm just telling you what they've offered us.
But we agree that at some point the business will probably outgrow Maxwell.
Yeah.
But I don't know about putting a 6-month timeline on it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we don't have to do the timeline of it, but I would say, guys, definitely Yeah, Maxwell probably won't be the best for you.
No, she's not.
Right, yeah, and we agree that there will be a point where the business outgrows her.
Maxwell,
Well,
tell him that she's not going to be good.
no,
Doesn't-
we're not saying she's not good. She's good for the time being, but the company is going to outgrow her skill set, and you're going to have to put somebody in there that can grow the company nationally. You have to.
Got to think about the company.
Yeah.
That's true, but I mean, I'm just telling you.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm okay taking off the 6-month timeline, but at some point she is going to have to be.
Right, and I agree. You know, eventually it will. And I think that that's something that maybe the board will be able to discuss. You know, where are we? And Maxwell's going to have to agree to recognize other people's input, because sometimes you can be a little too close to it and say, no, I'm doing a great job, when maybe somebody else will bring something really good to the table.
That goes back to our point about not having the two of them on the board. Like, it's going to cause problems later on down the road.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because Taylor and Maxwell are both passionate enough about the business that they're not going to let their own egos stand in the way of what's best for the company.
Because Maxwell's already said that there'll be a point when the company outgrows her.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that.
But I'm just saying, the one offer, they don't even say that she has to be replaced.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to write down the numbers. All right, what was your first offer?
Our
first offer is, let me pull that up real quick. Got too many tabs open.
Oh, from which one of the two?
I want to know both of your offers so I can write them down.
We got 2.5 million, 7.5 million evaluation, 10 million post valuation.
And what's the equity?
25%.
25%.
Okay. And what are the other stipulations? Like board members, option pool.
So
because they didn't have Maxwell on the board.
They don't want Maxwell on the board?
Well, they said that they would when they hired a new CEO, we could increase the board to 4. They didn't say she wouldn't be on.
Yeah. So with that one, it's
actually say she wouldn't, because they said they would have to accept the third one.
Rex, I think you're confusing Maxwell and Taylor. There's 3 members on the board. So it's the 2 founders and, hold on just a second. Okay, so on the board they have the founder, the CEO, and the venture capitalist. When they hire a new CEO, then the board increases to 4 with the new CEO taking an additional seat.
Okay.
Okay.
And your second offer? Did they give you an option pool?
Yeah, 17.5. We didn't like that.
Mm-hmm. That's taken from, right? Hold on 1 second, though. We have to get my phone real quick.
Okay. That doesn't look like a fun phone call. So I don't know that we really need to go through what the other offers are, because that's generally not something that you really discuss in negotiations.
Because I normally just use other offers to leverage the company you're talking to.
Yeah, that does make sense to me.
Because what you can figure down is the offers are somewhere between what you guys were told that you can do.
Yeah. So
There's going to be a picking and a choosing, and then
Yeah.
I
I
think
guess that's how these things go. You just gotta meet somewhere in the middle with it, you know.
I think my biggest concern is the evaluation.
Sure.
I think we need to get a little closer to where we are in that before we can really
that's a huge concern.
talk money.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That for sure.
Okay,
Because in my ledger here, it says growth opportunities and funding. In the side, I put
Mhm.
extreme, huge demand. When you start talking about the national distributors, first responders won't work with this, just in the regular case study. Those bullet points.
Yeah.
So around what like post money valuation are you guys looking for exactly? Within what range?
I would say 10 to 12.
10 to 12.
What was your second offer? Sorry if you already talked about that. 3 million.
So the second offer is between what the first one was and where you are.
Okay, so what were the numbers? 3 million?
I would negotiate when we give you all the terms.
Yeah, that makes it a little more difficult there.
All right, hold on. Let me consult with my partner in just a second.
In negotiations, you never tell what the other guys have offered.
Hold on. We're conferring with each other.
Okay.
Check your phone, Alex.
Hey, we're at a disadvantage, right? Get text messaging real quick.
We can mute our computers if you guys need to do that.
That way you can give them the stare down.
Ooh, you guys are-
No, but we're serious. We mean business.
Ethan,
My
did you
camera's not working.
Pardon me?
ever touch your mouse?
No, I haven't gotten around to it yet. I saw it just a few minutes ago, though.
That's fun.
Hey, just go pick up a couple of stray cats and let them loose in the house for a couple of days.
Yep.
Yeah. The ranchers would like that.
What they leave behind, you can probably pick up and move out.
Exactly.
They might have a fur ball on the floor for you
I'll probably leave a little more in a fur ball on the floor.
in a couple days.
I think we are going to get a cat when our other roommate moves in, but we'll see. I think I'll just put a trap underneath its hole.
Yeah. I'm watching my cat. She's being really weird right now.
That's that new
We
baby.
have one that's,
The little kitten.
well, we have another one too. We have an older cat that's blind, and then the kitten is deaf. It's really funny watching them play together.
The kitten's deaf.
The kitten's deaf, yeah.
How can you tell?
Wow.
She doesn't react to noise.
Oh. Suppose that would
At
make
all.
sense.
Actually, he doesn't. I keep forgetting he's a boy.
Yeah. I remember the kitten was a boy.
We're ready.
Yep. Okay,
You guys ready? Okay.
we're ready.
Yeah.
Our second offer is $3 million with a 42% equity stake, which gives you a post-money valuation of $7 million.
Pass.
3 million at 32? No.
It's too much of an equity stake for you guys.
Mm-mm.
But that recoups our investment. If you get a projected sale at $50 million, because we need to be at a certain level to make our investment worth it, that gives us back that gives us a multiple exit at 10 for you guys. Actually, so that's,
I'm really liking the 25% in equity.
well, we're not going to get there at 3 million. The only way we're going to give you 25% equity is at 1.5.
What about 2 million?
No, we need 2.5 million. That's
Absolute
the-
minimum.
But not for 20. You're not going to get 2 million from us for 25%. Like you won't.
We'll get 2.5 for the other guys at 25%. So that's okay.
Okay.
We do have that offer on the
I'm gonna give
table.
them our final and best offer.
All right. So this is our last offer that we are going to give to you. So we will invest the $3 million with you, and we require the about 32.14% in equity, and you'll get a post-money valuation of about $9.3 million.
What kind of
Where's
option?
where's my term sheet that we said the bare minimum would take?
You want me to resend it to you?
No, I got it here. I wrote down.
Okay.
Ethan, what was your question?
Does that include an option pool?
Yeah, so
what's-
we're leaving all the other terms the same. We can work
Okay.
on the board, but the other terms are the same. So what we figured was before we make the deal, you guys have to come up with the 15% from the founders, and your guy that also has what does he have? He has some equity, doesn't he?
Yep,
Like 10%, I think.
10%.
Yep. So the 15%, is that what we said, Dallin? 15%, right? Option pool?
Yeah, I was going to say them split.
Yeah. So that has to be before we invest.
And you know how option pool works, right?
Yeah. I had to read up on it, but yeah.
Comes from both. So what was your terms again?
$3 million with 32.14% equity, and then the post-money valuation was $9.3 million.
32.
Did a 7.5.
And post would be how much?
9.3.
Option. And both founders on the board?
That's not my favorite. That's not my favorite. I still think that one of them has to come off. And I think it's got to be Taylor because Maxwell's.
There's no way, no how. The inventor of our product is coming off the board.
Well, then I guess we're not going to reach a deal because I don't think it's a good idea to have her on the board long term.
Who's going to own the majority of the stock? The company?
Who's going to own the majority? Well, if you, I don't know. I didn't figure that out, actually. I thought about it and then I forgot to. So let's see.
Well, will MuMate or will you guys?
That's what I'm figuring out. Hold on.
32.14% versus. I got it figured out already. Just go ahead and flip.
Well, your girls will both have 37.5%. and that's taking 7.5 from each of them to make up the equity pool.
Okay, so what about this on the board? We want Taylor, we want Maxwell. Both of those are non-negotiable. Obviously, we need someone from VC. So how about we have also the new CEO?
That's
And
too
then-
much power on your side of
Hold on.
Okay.
So we have Taylor, Maxwell, somebody, Rodriguez from VC, the new CEO, and then a fifth person that all parties can agree on. That way it's not an even number.
Okay. I still don't like Taylor being on the board, but she can be a non-voting,
No way, no how.
and I don't know.
Yep, we'll take the other offer.
All right. Because I don't think it's a good idea to have her on the team.
Well, that's because we're
what's your-
supposed to not have her on the team.
Why do you guys want her so
hold on.
bad? Exactly.
Hold on just a second. What is the reason, other than the possible stalemate, what is the reason you feel it's not a good idea to have her on the board?
I just think that relationships down the road, as the company gets bigger, it's going to get more intense. And I think that, I mean, there could be,
I think the board needs to have a percentage of, on the board that, of ownership. That's my flat out.
well, yeah, but
Well, wait. I wanna hear the rest of Jordan's explanation. I want to hear the reasoning.
Sorry, no ours.
I'm interested in this.
I just worry that the even numbers will lead to deadlock. So
And
No,
that's a really good point. That's a really good point. With 4, you do run that risk.
right. So
But if we have a 5th, then that's not going to be a deadlock.
okay, but then you get too many members on a board of a small company, it leads to problems. So I don't think at this point in time, having a 5-member board, it's too big. It's too big right now.
Well, by the time we bring the CEO in, the company will be a lot bigger.
Until that time, we're at a disadvantage because you guys will have you'll have 2 against our 1.
And who has the majority of the company?
It doesn't matter. We're giving you
Yeah, it does.
we're giving you the money.
It absolutely matters.
Okay.
We're,
Yes.
saying we're supposed to give up control of the company and voting and we still have the majority of it?
Do that, Rex. We asked you to take Taylor off the board and replace her with somebody else that
No.
we approve of. And then Taylor,
We already have an offer that will give us Taylor on the board.
yeah, but is it the valuation and everything as good as ours?
It's very
Almost.
close.
Very close.
Well, then I guess
It's
you have
very,
to,
very
I guess
close.
you have to take that. If that is so important to you, then you're gonna have
That is a deal breaker for us, not having her on the board. We discussed
Yeah.
that.
Taylor is one that is going to be able to help protect the integrity of the company as far as the quality of the products. Taylor has the relationship with the farmers. She has the knowledge of years of experience with them, knowing who's trustworthy, who's not, who has the best products. She's the one that went in and got them organically certified.
right. I know. I agree.
She's the one that
She's
she's done.
She's been the driving force.
She's the marketer on the West Coast for us because of all of her yoga connections. I mean, I
agree that
yeah.
she's valuable. I'm not.
and she's also got the East Coast yoga connections.
I'm saying I totally agree with you that she's valuable, but I think she can be a non-voting board observer and still put her input in
No.
and not be a vote.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think that she could influence votes by her passion and by her knowledge and her expertise. I don't think she needs a vote though.
Nope, we're not going to kick her to the curb.
Okay.
No, and I think that the value that she brings
Wonderful.
to both the company and to the investment company is a lot more than she's being given credit for.
Okay.
And I think for that reason, she deserves to have that seat on the board.
Okay, then in that case, if you're so set on that, we need to work on equity then, because we're not gonna have minority stakeholder and not have a seat on the board.
That's fine. We don't need. We'll go with other offer.
All right, fine. What is your other offer then? You never told us. Since that you're gonna go with that, what is it?
It's almost the same.
What is almost the same?
Except Taylor's on the board.
So you guys are getting the exact same valuation and everything?
Very close.
Very close.
What is it?
We're done negotiating. Like I'm
So
not
it-
negotiating. So
No, I'm pulling it back up because my computer keeps blanking it out. So it's a 3 million raise,
yeah.
7.5 million post value, 4 members on the board, 2 founders, 2 VC, or 2 founders, a VC, and an outsider suggested by MuMate, accepted by Prosper.
Okay, VC founders and then
Option pool is 12.5%.
outside. See.
The founder's shares are 25% vested on closing with a 36-month to be fully vested.
Right. Okay.
Single round. Don't have to prove ourselves. And
What's the equity?
40%, she said.
40%.
Yep.
So you're giving up control to keep Taylor on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And the CEO doesn't need to be changed.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that's the best strategy for you, then that makes sense. I'm just surprised it's worth giving up. I'm surprised that you're worth giving up control of the company to keep one person on the board. That's very surprising.
Well, it's the founder.
Well, yeah, it is, but a lot
It's
of
the founder, it's the inventor. Why wouldn't you keep her on the board?
Well, because I've laid out
What's our main marketer? You know, she's got the certification. She went out over there. She's the one that brought back the stuff. Without her, we won't have the company.
Here's the thing, though. Somebody's going to go out and duplicate what you guys have got.
Yeah.
No, not if you got all the stuff carved out with the farmers. That's the connection she's got with the farmers. She went over there individually.
Somebody can always buy them out more, I feel like.
It's all there.
Yeah, she's got the connection with the best farmers. So whoever goes out and tries to duplicate, they're going to be getting second best.
Maybe not, though. I mean, that's not a guarantee. That's not a
No.
guarantee.
No, it's not a guarantee. There's absolutely no guarantees in
But
business.
there's not a large production of it either. So you got to have the connection with those farmers in order to get what's produced.
Right. No, I mean, I agree. Like I said, I completely agree with you that she brings value. I'm surprised that you're willing to give up control of the company.
I think the reason that we're willing to give up control of the company is because she's the one that is going to be the most passionate about keeping the integrity of the company.
Okay, so
And that's really important to us.
would you be willing to give up Maxwell then?
I'd rather give up Maxwell than Taylor, honestly. I don't know about the rest of my team, but I'd rather give up Maxwell than Taylor.
I was actually thinking about that as well.
Either. She's the CEO.
Yeah, but she's not going to be CEO forever. Like,
But
I mean, that's
so you kick her to the curb and then she has nothing.
well, she has her equity shares.
Yeah.
Which,
And there's the other thing, you know, if you got 60% in equity, you'd think you'd want to have control of the board
you would think, but
to protect your equity.
but
Why would you want to give up more board members if you have 60% of the company in equity?
no, in your one that you're wanting to go with, you're giving up control of your company.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at the end of the day, your vote really doesn't matter.
I was going to say, it's like we can just go in and change everything. Once
But
this,
do you think that you don't think they would negotiate either?
I'm not saying they won't, but we gave you our best offer. I'm assuming what you guys got is their best offer to compare with ours. So I would assume that I would assume that what you've got is your final, like you've been negotiating.
Well, it just said these are the other offers we got before
Right, which
negotiating.
I would assume had been through a negotiation. I would assume.
Because they really wanted to go with you guys. You know, they did because you guys are into the healthy type stuff.
Right. I mean, I would be willing to swap out Taylor, keep Taylor on the board, and get Maxwell off and put in a new CEO.
But we already determined that it was a deal breaker.
Hold on. What about this?
Maintaining control of your company.
Hold on. Let me think of something. Okay, so what about we go back with the 6 months for Maxwell being CEO. At the time Maxwell retires as CEO, she also gives up her position on the board.
Okay.
So you have two mammoth. I can't even say the name of our company. Geez,
MuMate.
almost MuMate, whatever. We have two of the founders for the first 6 months, and one VC. At 6 months, then we start an exit program for Maxwell as CEO, where we bring another CEO in. You're going to have just a little bit of transitioning there for, let's say, 60 days. And then Maxwell exits the CEO position and the board. And the new CEO sits in on the board.
In that time frame that's all happening, there has to be some protection in there about making choices along the lines of equity, like majority can override whatever there is. There needs to be some protection in there so that we don't get.
So any major decision needs to be unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Let me
unanimous on the board. Mute your computer so we can talk about it too.
Okay, real quick before we mute, are the other companies that you guys are getting offers from, did they give you their background as far as, are they in the health food?
Yeah.
They are, or they're not?
The one that we are looking at going with, they have an excellent reputation in this industry.
Okay. All right, we'll mute our computers.
Okay.
Give us like a thumbs up when you're ready.
Okay.
Hey, just real quick.
Uh-huh.
I have to be to a meeting in about 3 or 4 minutes, another one. Just a heads up so that you guys know.
Okay, so we'll try and make it fast.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even like those terms though, Trish.
Okay, I was going to say, what do you think?
Yeah,
I think...
I feel like kicking the owners to the curb if you don't.
Not necessarily, because she's still got... Maxwell has said that she thinks that the company is going to outgrow her. She'd like to stay with the company for a while. In 6 months, you know what? She may be ready to bow out and start something else.
But you know, they got 30% equity each after this, and they only have 33. And she's like, well, no, you can't do that. Well, that's 60% of the company that the two founders will still have.
Mm-hmm.
And they should have a majority voting right. If they got a majority interest in the company, they should have a majority voting right. That's just the way I look at it. Maybe
agreed, but sometimes we have to give a little bit, and I think that Taylor is more valuable than Maxwell.
Yeah,
I really do. Anybody can do what Maxwell can do. Not anybody can do what Taylor can do.
They still didn't want to give those two up. That's what bugged me.
Finding a CEO.
I think she was just concerned about the size of the board, which I can understand. But
well, they go for it. Then you're like, well, shoot, 50-50 there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have a problem with that.
I think it's the best we're going to do. And honestly, with keeping a higher share value with how much we're expecting this to skyrocket.
On valuation, because the valuation, I think, is a joke.
Yeah, the valuation is screwed. I agree. But yes, so I don't know. I think that the difference between the valuations, I mean, not the valuation, but the amount of stock that they're going to have with how fast the company is going to explode, I honestly think it would be worth more to have that extra equity in the company.
Now, on the one, the Astor Partners.
What's that?
There's only the founder, on the CEO founder.
Yeah, on that story, it only has the founder, but Prosper has both.
Yeah. Otherwise, that one would be the one I would go with.
I agree. Taking the equity over having both of the people on the board. I think equity is the way to go.
So,
anything I can do to convince you, Rex, that it would be a good idea to to flip Maxwell for Taylor? I honestly think Maxwell herself would go with that.
Well, if we're going to give up a founder, I say we go with Astoria Partners because we got the 25% is all we're giving up. They got the higher valuation. I mean, if you're giving up a founder on the board and giving up the CEO, might as well go with the other guys. All their terms are better except for the option pool, but they're on 33%, 33% of the company, and these guys are only going to have 25. So that 2.5% more for the option pool, that's nothing.
True.
And all we need is $2.5 million to break even. So I mean, what you're giving up, we're getting a worse deal.
Okay.
Than
All right. Okay, so we're going to go with...
Sense? Because if we're giving up the board member, then we're getting Ralph because we should go with the other guys.
Right.
You're giving up 32.3% of the freaking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where we'd only be giving up 25%.
Right. So of the two, which would you go with? Astoria or Prosper?
I'd go with Astoria if we're giving up the board member.
Agreed.
I mean, they're giving us 2.5 million, valuation 7.5, post is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Better deal. We're only giving up 25% of the company.
Right.
So. That's why when you were saying that, I'm like, might as well go faster.
Well, that's why I'm just kind of like, let me throw this out. I know everybody's on, so. Okay, so we're going to turn down their deal, or here's another thought. We can drag it out a little bit longer through email.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Well,
And see if we can get any better terms.
We get a better deal going with Astor Part, or the other deal if we give up the CEO. We just went through it.
Right.
Much better deal.
But okay. All right. Yeah, and if that's their best and final, then I guess that's as good as they can do.
Yep.
All right.
Hey.
Okay, Taylor, can you tell Adeline he can come back in?
Give her the.
Oh, I guess she can't. I guess she can't hear us.
All right.
Okay, we decided we're gonna have to pass.
Okay. Good deal.
Because I mean, the other deal was better than if we give it to the board member, the other deal's better now.
Yeah, we're getting a better valuation and
only give up 25% of the company.
Wait,
yeah, it does
you guys aren't going. You're not going with the second one that you were wanted. Now you've flipped to go to the first one.
Well, if we're giving up a board member, we might as well go with the other one. Because that's only giving up 25% of the company. We get $2.5 million, valuation $7.5 million, post valuations $10 million, 3 members on the board, new CEO. So I mean, I just told Trish, I said, well, if we're giving up all that stuff, we might as well go with the other.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully our grade was not dependent on making a deal.
I know. I don't think it was.
No, I think it's knowing when to keep negotiating and when to walk away. And if that is truly your best, and
yeah, I mean,
generally you don't want to go through a negotiation in an hour, but realistically, if that's the best that you're going to be able to do, emailing back and forth isn't going to help. So
no, I mean, are you guys set? And then I can explain why we had to come with that.
Yeah. Let's go over the other one real quick so you know what it was. They're going to give us $2.5 million.
Yeah, Dylan has to go, so I can just email it out to them.
Yeah, okay. And I'm going to have to hop off too. I have to join the other meeting.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'll hang on for a minute because I just want to explain to you how we got where we got, but I only have like 10 minutes too. So,
Okay.
Okay.
all right. Thanks.
All right. So those that need to drop off, have a good night.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye.
Down.
Bye.
Were we supposed to go through all those
I can stay
questions?
on for a little while.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got like 10 minutes left, so.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. Bye,
Well, we
everybody.
had all the questions we were supposed to go through too, didn't we?
Well, I think the negotiation was actually more important.
Okay.
Unless you want to go through them real quick.
No, that'd take us another hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the way that we got our information was our boss came to us and said, these are the parameters which you have to be in. You can't go over $3 million and because of the risk associated with it. And he also said that where did it go? There it is. Okay, so we can't invest more than $3 million and we have to have a return on equity at the point of when we exit. We have to own at least 20 to 30% stake in order to recoup our investment at an exit or an IPO. And so in order to get those numbers, we have to aim when we initially invest for 25 to 40% equity stake. And so when we started plugging in all those numbers, the numbers that we gave you, we did like 3 different options, actually 4 different options. The ones that we came up with fell within those parameters, and that's how we got to where we were at. And and the boss in here, he said that the chances of you guys succeeding is like 1 in 3 and 1 in 4, like because you're expanding out west or out east to a totally new territory. There's a lot of risk involved. And so we needed to put in a lot. We needed to get a lot of equity to make up for that risk. So.
And I would agree with that if we weren't already so successful on the West Coast. So worst case scenario, we fall flat on our face on the East Coast. We've still got a great business on the West.
Right, I agree with you.
And we just take it a little bit slower.
You would lose money trying to expand, and so there would be that. That doubt that really, because how much money does it take you to move out west and to get out east and to make new manufacturing and shipping? And I mean, there's a lot of costs involved with that. So to recoup that, I mean, you're going to go through that $1.5 to $2.5 million like that just in getting and expanding and making those contacts and whatnot. And
that's why we said we need to do single round. We admitted that too. We wanted to go with somebody to do single round.
Right. Well, our second option was a single round. It was like because we realized like that the risk to us in doing the stage investment, like 1.5 now, and if you're successful, the other 1.5 is in Series B. We would be worried that we wouldn't be able to buy in at the rate that we are now. And so that's why our second option was an all-in single round funding. Let's do this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that's what we had to go off of to try. And, and they were and like I explained the reason for why they didn't want Maxwell on the board. So.
And see, with our evaluation, we decided we'd go high. So you can negotiate down.
Right. And that's why we started low so we could negotiate up.
And,
yeah.
Because we knew like at the end of it, we needed any post money valuation below 10.5 million would get us at the equity rate that we needed to be at in order to make our investment worth it.
So
yeah.
Because I just I was thinking of a simple revenue valuation.
Yeah.
And even if you didn't make 8.3 million on the year, you're going to probably make over 7.5 by May, So we were kind of shooting for 7.5, 8 million. Well, actually, we wanted at least 7.5.
Right, and so like our valuation when we gave you the 3 million for the 32% was almost right at that number. It was 9.3.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were pretty close. It was honestly the biggest sticking point was having Taylor on the board, and that was something that we all felt like we weren't willing to give up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean that's when you guys were okay with taking Maxwell off, that seemed to work. That because that was our, losing, not having majority hold, and then also not having seats on the board is a little risky for an investor.
And see, then when we took one off, then the other offer becomes better because you're only giving up 25% of the company.
Right, totally.
Mhm.
But you're not getting, you're getting less money, but you're also getting what you asked for at the same time.
Right.
And you're giving up either scenario. We're going to give up the CEO either. That's why we didn't like that other offer.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't have Taylor on the board, and they wanted to replace Maxwell as CEO too, eventually. So.
No, I mean it's good. I mean I enjoyed the conversation. It was interesting. It was very intense.
It would have been fun if we had more time, but
I know. I think I don't know. I don't know what more we could have hashed out though.
The negotiations are fun because Trisha's saying all that stuff, and I'm like, wait,
what? Shut up.
this other offer's better now. What you're
Well, that's why I'm like, okay, so we really need to mute. So yeah. I was waiting for somebody from my team to jump in and say, shut up.
I was dying inside, man.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was. Trisha, can you email us your offer so that we can write up our?
Yeah, I just replied all to Dallin's email.
Okay. Do you want me to
Should
send
have
you the spreadsheet that we have so you can see how we got our valuations and everything?
Sure.
Now, are we supposed to write something up and send it in on the offer?
I don't
think so. I think it's just a case study, or maybe we should include the offer
See, that's what I was going to do in my
our case study.
That's the one I think they should take because of this.
Right.
So I will send this to you guys.
Fun, enjoy, join, fun.
What?
So that's what our hypothesis is going to be, which one to take.
Yeah, which one of the three?
Yeah.
I really want to make a deal, but I want the partner.
Yeah.
I really did. And truthfully,
but we knew going in that most likely wasn't going to happen.
I might be willing to take the Prosper offer just because I want the two founders on the board.
Yeah.
You're giving up so much control. That is crazy.
That's the part I hate.
Yeah.
I hate giving up that, but I'm pretty passionate about them both being on the board.
I'm more passionate about Taylor than Maxwell, but y'all know that. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I agreed with how Pat, we sent, we can tell that's important to you, and you guys didn't really fight for Maxwell. So, I mean, yeah, we both thought that was a really good point on your end, pointing out all of the things that she's now and everything that she did.
Yeah,
well, my thinking was, yes, Maxwell is a founder, but her strength comes in her business sense, which you can get from anyone. Taylor had the passion, the drive, the connections.
Right.
Taylor just made more sense to me.
Right, and that makes sense. That's why I like talking things out. It just.
But I think they both went to India to do the Witchmandini.
Yeah, I think Taylor actually, from reading the case study, I think Taylor actually would have been okay with a really, really nice severance package.
Who, Maxwell?
Maxwell, yeah, sorry. Maxwell would have been okay with a really, really nice severance package and stepping down from the board.
Yeah,
it would have totally had to be worth it for her, but.
Or so you mean stepping out of the company completely, or just stepping off the board and out of the CEO role and
keeping
a director?
Keeping her shares and stepping down from CEO and off the board.
So becoming more like a director type.
Yeah, or even just a major investor.
This is not going to be a fun case to write up because now I'm
Oh, there's so
bouncing
many
back and
different
forth.
possibilities. I'm actually almost as excited about this one as Rent the Runway.
I know. I kind of really liked it.
Rent the Runway was my all-time favorite. This one is close.
I liked Rent the Runway. That was
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh, they've been advertising like crazy down here too. I keep seeing it. And I'm like, hey.
Tuesday, it was so funny because I'm like, when I was reading through this, it's like, what kind of liberal wrote this thing?
Yeah. Oh, it was totally written by a liberal, but you know. It is
do
what
you
it
know
is.
this is a fictional thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wanted to find out what happened, and I started Googling. I'm like, oh, it's fictional.
I think it was
The thing
based
wasn't
off.
even real?
No, it's not even real.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It was based off of a company
Well, that's
though.
a lot of stress that I didn't have. I shouldn't have. I'm like, okay, well, I don't get it then. All right, that
Because
makes sense.
things like this where it says, for example, Taylor worried about coming under pressure, and then protecting the interest of the farmers in India. I'm like, you got to be kidding.
Okay. I was like, who just goes to India? Okay, that makes sense.
Right. And one of the other things we were going to have you guys do is get a patent lawyer with the extra $500,000 because we wanted you to get that formula patented.
And we were okay with that.
Yeah. I thought that was really bad advice that lawyer gave them because somebody is going to go over there and figure it out. So.
And somebody can have a similar formula, but it won't be the same.
No. Yeah.
And so yeah, we were fine with that. That was kind of a non-issue for us. Like, you want to do that? Yeah, sure, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean but I mean the main thing was we figured that with Taylor's connections to the farmers there, and of course they both went over and got the product certified, organically certified. I'm like, that's liberal galore. Farmers in India are going to.
But you can quadruple the price if it's certified organic.
All you'd have to do is grease some palms in India for $100 or something like that.
It doesn't matter. It's certified. You can quadruple the price.
They can certify your dog
Exactly.
to be a tiger for $100.
Do it.
Like the connections in India. I'm like, all I'd have to do is go over and pay those guys a little bit more than what Taylor's paying, and I'm gonna have the connection. I mean,
yeah, but then your margins are going to be off.
Yeah, but they're a third world country. A little bit, my money over there is not going to affect my bottom line too much.
But if they didn't know what the thing was, because it's only grown in India, how would they know what was coming?
Well,
they'd be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's
There's another liberal pansy out there. I mean,
out loud, they would never figure it out.
If it makes enough money, Rex, they'll figure it out.
But I just love this assignment because you know how much I like to argue, debate. Debate my points.
No,
okay.
Really?
Talking liberal, you want to hear something funny? The company I work for is so liberal that soon after Trump was put in office, and you remember when he said he's going to limit the amount of people that are able to come into the country and stuff like that, our CEO sent out a company-wide email reminding everybody that we have EAP as available for employees. And specifically referenced Trump's mandate. Oh my gosh. Well, because we do have offices all over the world. But it was just hilarious. They're like, we know this is probably going to affect some of you, so just don't forget we do have employee assistance available. If you need to talk to someone, call.
Oh my gosh.
I just had to shake my head and laugh.
Well, this is a Harvard case study, and they did offer the class this year how to cope with Trump as the president.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
They offered the class something similar to that, how they could manage because Trump was the president now. There's something that it was just it was
over the country doing that.
It was totally blew me away. And they got rooms where you can go in and get hugs and stuff like that. And have cocoa on pillows.
I think they probably serve a little bit more than cocoa on those pillows.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway. But yeah, this is
Sorry.
fun. I'm still not sure which way I want to go.
Oh, sorry. Did I tell you that I won't be here next week?
No.
Oh,
Sorry. So I don't think so. Anyways, I'm gonna be in Hawaii.
Okay, jealous.
how rough is that?
What?
How rough is that?
I know. My husband's
Hard life.
is what?
That must be
I'm
really
pretty
hard.
sure pretty sure they have internet service over there.
I know they do.
Don't do it.
Available, I will hop on, but I don't know what the company, like it's his company trip, and so I don't know what they've got planned for us at night. But
Hawaii's like 4 hours behind us.
I know, so it's gonna be.
So it'll
Jordan,
be
don't even think
afternoon.
about it. Don't
Go
even
have fun.
don't-
You have a good enough grade that missing one hangout is not gonna.
Trust me, I'll still give you a 3 on the post-discussion test.
Now, which days are you going to be gone?
I'm gonna be gone Monday through Friday next week, so I leave Monday and
Wow.
We have 2 cases next week, so that'd be 2
I only
days.
have one. I looked.
Do we?
Okay,
Do we
so
really?
Yeah.
All
so
right.
just send your thoughts in an email before you go.
Okay, I will do that.
You guys all okay with that?
Whatever works.
And
And
then she can still participate in the discussion that way.
I do, and I'll watch the video. If we're not doing anything, I'll try and make it. But I know on Wednesday we're doing a luau. I don't know about, but
That's sweet.
Now, are we meeting Tuesday or are we meeting Thursday if we only have one next week?
that's what I was just gonna ask you.
I thought we had 2. My wife, I thought, wanted 2.
I like
Let me
Thursday
look
better.
just to verify. But I'm because I started printing off all my stuff to take it with.
Yeah. I really struggle with the Tuesday meetings because that's just so soon in the week.
Yeah.
Week 9.
I'll have to see what day I work.
Right now, technology's case, that's all I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's the technology's case and then the ponder and prove financing the business model. So the technology's case,
No.
Right.
it's,
Right.
yeah, it's due on November 8th, so we have to meet on Tuesday.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ponder and prove.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't blow that one.
Okay, I could do Tuesday or Thursday.
It's going to have to be Tuesday because it's due Wednesday night.
Oh, gross. Okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday. All right, I gotta get going, guys. I'll see you guys later.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Fun in Hawaii, Jordan.
I know.
Don't forget
Yeah.
us.
Think
The board.
about us.
You know it.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
With everybody switching time zones except for you and me, Trisha, next week, are we just going to keep it the same? So that would push us to 8:30.
I'm okay with that if everybody else is.
I am too. That actually.
Well, that's what time we're meeting,
It's-
8:30. I didn't.
Right. Yeah, I think it's best just to keep it the same time.
I do too, and that works better for me actually. So.
Me too.
Okay, perfect. I know 7:30 was hard.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I have been looking forward to daily